Welcome! The STEM Career Exploration Series is on fire science technology we serve to save. Our presenters are Arnel, Pagarao, and Jermaine, Salas.
So, what is fire science technology? So it's basically a degree program that has a set amount of courses that help you start up your career in fire services and its branches. So, in regards to eligibility, so although the current degree program is designed specifically for fire academy graduates, changes are pending that offer this opportunity or program to students like you, so you guys can start your career here. It is very highly recommended you finish your general education courses to streamline your FSC journey. And just like any other degree program, you must pass your classes with a minimum of a C, which is a 70. So how do you get started? So just like any other degree program, you have to declare your major. Shortly after, you'll be meeting up with your advisor, and in this case, it's Mr. Clement Bermudez, and you can contact him with his email, clement.bermudez@marianas.edu, and you can phone him up at 670-237-6721. And for those who are ongoing students, it's just like a good old major change. Once you do that, you will be in contact with Mr. Clement, and he'll take you step by step on how to become an FSC major. And for those who don't know where the criminal justice office is, it's okay. I was a victim of it too. So it's at V building at the V parking lot. And you know those big old stairs at the V building? It's basically next to it. And for those who were here like last semester or two, it's called the old bookstore. But now it's in a better spot, so that's a good point.
Okay, so the degree curriculum. Basically, the classes that you need to take in order to receive your degree. So for general education, the classes you would need to be taking are college success, English 101, intermediate algebra, fundamentals of speech, current issues in the CNMI, science with lab, and general psychology. For this specific degree, you would need to take fire operations 1 and 2, hazardous material awareness and operations, emergency medical technician, a report writing with law enforcement and constitutional law. And if you would like to, you can go ahead and scan this QR code and it'll take you straight to the IDP. Okay, so for financial aid, these are just the three main financial assistance here on island. We have Saipan Higher Education Financial Assistance, also known as CHEFA. We have the CNMI Scholarship, and then we also have the pre-application for Federal Students Aid, also known as FAFSA. You can go ahead and scan these QR codes and it'll bring you straight to the website where you can then go to the application.
And for those who are worried about missing out with these scholarship opportunities, there's always next semester, which is coming up around August. And for those who are worried about their FAFSA application, worry not. Applications are being accepted now for the next school year. So it's best you do those early so it gets a lot of work out of the way. Although he isn't present, our guest speaker is Clement himself, but he also kindly invited two firefighter alumni to stop by and give us a little feedback on how the FSC program works. So would you two love to come in front and present? Welcome. Good noon, everyone. My name is William. I I graduated from the 12th cycle, and that was in the year of 2018.
Hi everyone, my name is Sharice Terlaki. I graduated Fire Academy in 2016.
Do you guys want to know anything about the degree? So within your training at the Fire Academy, which was your least favorite and most favorite part of it?
The least favorite I would say would be the PT part. That's usually after classes, which is around 4:30.
Oh no.
My most favorite would be the hazardous class.
Same for me. Least favorite was the PT part. Throughout the years, you know, keep trying to work on it. And then the most, I guess, what's your next?
Your favorite science?
The most favorite is just building with your cycling. Just know that you're gonna be away from home most. Miss Kiana back here, her husband is from my cycle as well. Yeah, so you're gonna be away from home, so you build your family. They become your first family, and then your family at home is, your real family. Yeah, so you have your real family, and then your family at fire. And then, but other than that, it's a great experience. I started in NMC way before I got into fire, and then I just finished up. I actually just finished last semester. Yeah. It was hard. Yeah. The past 6 years, yeah. With everything that was happening.
So, what made you guys decide to take part in this career?
So for me, honestly, I didn't have any interest in the fire, but I just wanted to try out their agility test. Surprisingly, I passed. I wasn't expecting a callback, but I did get a callback.
Nice.
But I'm really enjoying it right now.
That's good.
So we actually have so the schedule we run on a 24-hour schedule. It's broken up onto 4 shifts, alpha to delta, and you're 24 hours on for 3 days. So the schedule goes Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Tuesday, Thursdays, and you get 4 days off. So that's the best.
Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 4 days off, right? So in a month, you work 10 days. Plus overtime.
Hours of regular hours of 106, not 80 hours.
Wow, that's quite.
Don't get discouraged. It's a lot of fun.
So within a year, how much trainings do you guys get on average?
We train every day.
Yes, we usually call it in-service training.
Oh.
So whenever we don't have a call, yeah, we're usually doing in-service trainings at the station.
So it's a okay.
So I know like the program it has like the classroom instruction hours for in a typical like cycle, how many hours say you would spend like out in the field like actually learning like the skills
In the academy?
outside of in the field, like not in the classroom.
Also, I remember from my cycle, we usually do our courses in the morning, and then after that we would do the skills. So there's usually in textbook, and then after the textbooks, we usually have skills in the afternoon.
No, so, what would you say is like the hardest part of your job?
For me, I would say would be the medic side because that one you do with life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Other
for-
questions?
I'm sorry, other questions?
Where are some locations of fire stations on Saipan?
So right now there's Kagman, Garapan, and Suzuki. Our Kobler station is currently used by FEMA.
I have a question. Do you guys alternate?
So it's a 3-month rotation. But now they're catering to closest to home because gas prices are. So yeah. So like for me, today I'm on shift. I am working 24 hours. I'm actually on the engine. Yeah, I just got off the medics last 2 weeks. We're evaluating the new cycle that just graduated.
What are some traits that you think a person should have to become in this kind of field?
Determination.
So for me, that will be then you should wait, sorry, let me reword it. I'm trying to think of it. Because you would respond to any any family on the island, so you should learn how to like speak up and stuff like that. Don't be shy because they would think that you don't know what you're doing. So it's best to always speak up.
I know there's some like special teams in fire. Like, do you know what are like some of those special teams? So
Yeah, we have the rescue, forestry, and hazmat.
So for each, what do you do in each specific area?
So for search and rescue, they're usually utilized whenever we have a missing person or drowning victim, or if we call it a 1028 or 1029, which is a critical car accident. Whenever they're trapped in their vehicle, that's when we utilize search and rescue. And for forestry, that's for wildland fires. And then hazmat, yeah, hazmat is like
For hazardous
yeah, hazardous materials.
respond.
which would be most call.
Search and rescue is always
Oh.
yeah.
But the longest would be forestry when they go for deployment.
That it could be
Oh.
home away like for 3 months. But it's a good month. I think forestry for me would be the most hard work.
Physically.
Yeah, just
Oh, it's a general question. Now at the airport, the Plaza Fire Department, are you guys under the same thing or there something else different?
No, they're different. They're attached to the airport. Just respond within the airport premises. We're city fire.
lots of
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I know this is a very competitive field, right? Only a certain amount of slots every year for new people to go into fire. I just wanted to ask, do you guys think that there's a need for more firefighters on island?
Oh yes, definitely. Are we underfunded? Definitely. But that's why Mr. Clements is, fighting with OPM and he's on our side, and a lot of the mentality is, we go to school, right? We go to school to get our education, then we apply for a job, right? And then, everybody feels underpaid and whatever. But really with this job, it's not just the degree or the education, it's really the department as a whole.
What advice would you give to a student who's considering this?
So the advice that I took, because I have a brother that was first in the fire and first than me, he told me to shape up with my physical well-being, because it would really help with the agility when it comes to academy. So agility consists of, if I'm not mistaken, 8 obstacle course, where you're going to have to carry you're supposed to pull 50 feet charged line poles, and honestly, that is really hard for me up until now, but I'm still working on it. And you're supposed to complete the 8 obstacle course less than 7 minutes. You guys want to know my time?
Yes.
Sure. I did it in 4 minutes.
Wow.
So how long was your academy?
It took us 6 months for my cycle. 6 months.
Us was 4. My cycle was 4. And that's another thing. It's some are compressed, some are not. It's mentally draining, physically draining. You need a lot of support system at home. That's the biggest thing I think. If you don't have that, I really feel like it's just gonna strain on your performance in academy, as well as when you finish and then you want to go into, finish your school. That there's a lot of understanding with home, work, and just balance. Trying to find balance.
So I know this is a very overwhelming career choice. So I was just wondering if there's anything you wish you were told before or prior to joining this field, what would it be?
Sorry, again.
So I know it's a really hard job, right? And I know it could be very overwhelming. So if there's anything you wish you were told prior to joining the field, what would it be?
To encourage, as like, are you asking for encouragement?
Yeah, it could be something like that.
So with me, I did it like in secrecy because in my family, people look at the or law enforcement and it's a man's job, right? So I went behind my parents' back, applied, did everything, finished. Then I waited until I was actually in to, um, tell them that I got this for in I guess with the job vacancy announcement. And the only thing for me would be to never look at it like that. To never look at any opportunity as a man's job. Anybody can do it. That wasn't told to me. I had to learn it the hard way. And yeah.
I wanted to ask, I think it's, International Women's Month, and then just share, is there any words of empowerment or encouragement for those, women who want to be, in this field? There's a lot of, discouragement. There's a lot of, we talk about sexual harassment, like on people, but is there anything that you are, living and doing this every day? Is there like an advice or any words of encouragement that
That
I would like to share?
just own yourself. Come across a lot of it's a male's it's male dominant. That's the environment we're around. But never feel any less. Always feel more, because at the end of the day, the male, they help me with my report, like that. You're so smart, can you? So you guys are gonna have beauty, you guys are gonna have brains, you guys are gonna have power. It's gonna be a lot, and yeah, that's how I look at it now.
I want to highlight too, because the recent academy that graduated this 14th fire cycle graduated in January 7th. The valedictorian was the lady firefighter.
She's the first.
First female valedictorian for the cycle. So yeah, Cherise and William are really sharing, the ends of the environment they operate in. But more importantly, that the empowerment and really the women have the same fair shake when it comes to selection, because it's really tough to get into the fire department. Not to discourage people, but it's intended to be physically demanding and mentally challenging, right? Because while people on a fire, people are running away from the building, they're running into the building, right? So you gotta be mentally and physically ready for that. So just think about it, right? The human instinct is to run away, right? Now you're trained to run into danger. Okay, so that's really the bottom line when it comes to this career field. And in addition to that, the two firefighters are before you actually represents something really significant. They continue their degrees, not degree, actually degrees. They both earned the criminal justice AS degree in criminal justice, Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice, and the Associate of Science in Fire Science Technology. In addition to what they earned at the academy, because at the academy you earn a certificate of completion, 40 credits. So they're really the model, and that's why it was intentional for them to be here. I would appreciate that. Was we should share that because not only are they practitioners, they're also scholars behind it, right? So they really, if anything, I mean, they're always available. Yeah, it was just a couple of days ago and said, hey, are you mind coming? And they, I mean, they're always right. They're PROAs while they're also, doing a challenging career field. So, and they're walking this lane because of the dual degree that they earned. Okay, so it's a we share that because I'm sure you saw right the progression from a certificate at academy and then a degree in fire science technology, right? One is a certificate and one is a degree. I'm in the process of updating the degree program, right? Because you don't need the certificates to earn the degree, but currently you must, right? So what if we have a fire service focus or emphasis on the degree, which is open to anyone, so that down the road you say this is really my passion. You follow your passion, right? You follow your passion is not a job, right? It's something that you want to do. Like yeah. If you compare the pay, yeah, you'll be discouraged. But if you're joining something that it's not about the pay, it's really about the service. It's a higher calling, really. I mean, think about it. And only, again, so it's one of those career fields that it's overlooked in law enforcement. When you see law enforcement, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
A patrol officer.
Right, a cop, right?
Yes.
Yeah, police. No, they enforce because they investigate arson cases, right? When a fire happens and we don't know who it actually started, there's arson investigators. Hazardous materials could be criminal, right? Somebody's spilling stuff, right? They're not supposed to. It's criminal, right? It's a crime, right? So they play. I mean, that's the purpose, and I appreciate the navigators for really going into this because it's one of the rare things, right? You hear around campus, like, yeah, fire science technology. What is that? That's only for firefighters. It's not. We have 2 students now that have declared the degree. That's because we're reviewing the degree program as part, right? But we're not reviewing and not getting up to date to what's happening in the world, then we're gonna be like stagnant, right? Right? We're not moving. We're better off being statues, right? And we don't want to be statues. We want to actually be dynamic and change with the environment and the times. And the times is that, yeah, it's not just a man's job. Okay, that's the other intended, right? I mean, you got a man and a lady firefighters. So it's really tough. And by the way, they're starting on the 15th cycle here shortly. So they're doing agility tests for the next cycle of fire academy. Okay, so be on the lookout. I mean, they're always looking for folks, and right. So it's not a gender-based career field anymore. Okay, it's gender neutral. That's where the world is headed to, right? Yes, ma'am.
Or can we find or get the information about the cycle, when it's gonna start? How do we have planning?
Okay, so opm.gov is the Office of Personnel Management. They announced the position, the joint vacancy announcement, the JPA that they mentioned earlier. But before that, actually, the fire department is already doing some agility to start screening. Okay, so they're pre-screening candidates. Okay, and then they go through the interview, and then they go through a red cycle, right? It's where it's physically and mentally, right? It's intended to challenge you. It's not to weed out people that can't make it. It's to weed out people that really are not in it, right? Because it's not a fad, right? But if it's a fad, you watch it fades away. Okay, right? Waiting for the next thing to happen. So it's one of those again career fields that's growing. It's important. Some firefighters and the ARP, you mentioned the ARP actually do this, okay? Because they're interchangeable. But where do you get your information? You get your information from DFIMS. I know most of the admins move up to Capitol Hill, right? Yeah. So Capitol Hill, scholarship side of Capitol Hill, yeah. They're in the far back. Just follow the road when it dead ends. You're gonna see all the fire.
It would be 1361.
Oh, there you go.
anything.
So that's a 1300 block because PS is in the 1200 block, right?
This is
So,
like, pardon.
go
This is
ahead.
how bad they don't know the fire service that when we're gonna explain on how to get there, they know PUA. Oh, you passed PUA, but where's the fire? The fire building, just go, you're gonna see it. And then they're like, so they're still scrambling to find. It's not just the students who are not hearing about fire science. It's even like the public. It's not like DPS where everybody knows where's DPS, knows where's DMD, knows like this. They're well known fire, well hidden.
So usually that's one of the teams in the fire. It's called forestry. So in order to get in the forestry, you're supposed to do a pack test, and a pack test is,
3 miles,
if I'm not mistaken, 3 miles. You have to do it less than
45
45 minutes.
with
50 pounds of
weight.
yeah.
Um,
You can't run. You can only walk or strut.
Or like 1 foot always has to be on the ground
Yeah,
for the floor.
under 45 minutes.
And we only had so far in the forestry 1 female. Yeah, 1 female passed the practice. So there's a lot of females breaking history.
That's good.
So yeah.
How did you learn about firefighters being that?
Yeah, they just received the House resolution. Warning.
Gets familiar with the wildfire in the Pacific Northwest, right? Yeah, Idaho, Nevada, California, it's reached up to Washington already. Yeah, it's when the wildfire happens, it's happening, right? So, yeah, you could imagine, right? Firefighters from a small island, representing the Commonwealth as part of the big nation called to help. Because it's a tough job because you're dropped in an area. So that's the deployment that I think Cherise was mentioning earlier. Very good. Thanks for highlighting. That's really good.
Do we have any more questions?
Also have like fun memories that you like pull out to use your heart. If it's not suitable for students, yeah, if you have any like funny or happy.
They're all adults. So.
Yeah. sometimes there's like prank wars going on in the station. So so there's on our radio we have two channels, which is the fire channel and the EMS channel. The EMS channel is only for like within the fire department, and three channels. One from the fire department to CHC, and then the fire department and EMS for just like if we were to just like don't use radio codes, like just free talking. So I was showering one time and I had a radio with me in the shower room and I did not know that they switched it to EMS. And I was in the middle of shampooing and they called out on the radio that there was a 1020 and 1020 is an emergency needed. So I didn't even get to towel myself or dry. I just used my uniform, the same uniform I used throughout the day, and I ran out and they were all just waiting in the bay. Just
Not me. I've never tried that. They teach you how in academy how to change in under 2 minutes. So when you're done, everything is fast. Fast and out. So William was
I was in the middle of shampoo. Any more questions? Thoughts?
If we don't have any further questions, we would like to thank you guys for stopping by, including Mr. Clement as well. Let's finally give them a round of applause. And for those who are still interested in our resources, there are some resources ready to help you out, and that's us, Project PROA and LSS. For those who are really interested in getting tutoring or anything in general that involves academic help and mentoring, you can always hit us up with the QR code right there, and we'll kindly give you an appointment if you ever need it. And here's our email for those who got it right.
Before everyone leaves, I would like to kindly ask everyone to fill out the survey and tell us how we did. Thank you guys so much for attending today's presentation.
Good job.
We appreciate your time, everyone.